Look at that. We're here. We're live.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dustin.
I'm Chandra. We remembered to introduce ourselves.
She's real. She's not AI. We're in the flesh. Look.
Ow!
See?
Somebody wants me to hit him.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Are there people
Yes,
watching?
There's 4 people watching right
Oh,
now.
hi. Hi, all 4 of you.
It doesn't matter if they're watching. We're going to talk anyway. I mean, you know, I talk to myself all the time.
It gets irritating.
I don't do it always out loud. Anyway, what we want to accomplish in this live stream this week is what we want to do.
I don't know.
Well, what I want to talk about is kind of where we've been. I mean, we've been a little absent, video here and there.
Okay. We can talk about
All right. So what I want to do is I want to focus on her for just a minute. I want to talk to her about where we left off with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. She stopped right at June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to, before we get into that, just going to say hi to everybody in the chat. We've got Shauna, we've got Sherry, we've got Jason, Jackie, so many awesome people in here today.
There. That was hi to all of you.
Now, again, just so you know, you're aware, we're not very good with these lives. This is kind of our 3rd one ever.
Did we do 3?
This is our 3rd one. We did one a long time ago. We did like a Q&A.
Did we?
Before you were on camera. You kind of sat over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I did one by myself last week.
Well,
yeah, you joined me a little bit. Yeah. But this one
that.
was planned. We had a thumbnail. We did all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
We were prepared.
Well, as prepared as we get.
Right.
Let's be fair.
All right. So again, what I want to do is start off with what's happened. Kind of what was your takeaway from beef, butter, bacon, and eggs? You did it for the month of May. Here we are mid-July, and we're just kind of now getting to that because, like I said,
I blame him.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Well, okay. So the beef, butter, bacon, eggs thing sucked. I would not opt to do it again. And it isn't that I don't like beef, butter, bacon, or eggs. The problem is when you limit your choices to that few, it makes things kind of miserable. Like, it's like saying, if you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, but for real life, you only get one meal. Because for me, I struggle eating bacon. It does not agree with me at all. I get severe heartburn. It's just not fun. So if I eat bacon, I have to eat it first thing in the morning. And then I kind of have to not really eat anything else for the rest of the day because my heartburn is so bad. It's painful. So that pretty much eliminated bacon. Not that I didn't eat it, but I ate it knowing I was going to regret it and followed it with a fistful of Tums because it's terrible what it does to me. So then you're down to butter, eggs, and beef. And I actually take steak to work basically every weekend. Like, I like steak. There's nothing you can really do to it to make me not like it unless you cook it well done. Even if it's underdone, which he does to me a lot, where it's basically just barely colored on the outside and red in the middle.
There is a reason for that.
Even that I can tolerate. So it's really hard to screw up a steak, and I like steak. But by the end of the month, like, I had steak for virtually every meal with some eggs thrown in between because we eat eggs for breakfast almost every day. So I had what I always eat, but the fact that I had no options for anything else made it miserable. I also had, when I first started keto, my hormones got real jacked up. And for a good 6 months or so, I was severely depressed to the point where every day I would tell Dustin, I don't know how much longer I can keep going on this. And not just on this, like, if we keep going on this, I'm concerned I need to go get on meds kind of thing. And just doing this BBBE thing put me almost right back to as low as I was at that point. It very much like messed with my hormones badly. My period actually got out of sync. And then, like, mentally, I was super, like, depressed. And I don't like living in that zone. It's been a long time. My stuff leveled out after that first 6 months of keto, and I've been very steady and very consistent. And my, mental status has been great, but changing just to that BBBE just made my emotions just tank. It was awful, and I won't do it again. So that's my thoughts on BBBE.
Now, what have you found since you've stopped?
Since I stopped,
Yeah.
I feel like I've leveled out emotionally, which is nice. My most recent period is normal, back to what it always has been, not delayed, not this is probably way more information than anybody wants to know, but not
that's why they're here, though.
Yeah.
To know what's going on. Yeah.
Not delayed, not changed. So like my period during the BBBE was, it was delayed, and it like stuttered. So like spotting. And then all of a sudden it was like floodgates opened and my whole body was emptying out. And that was just awful. I always have.
It was like Jaws, but her lower half.
Yes. I always have a heavy period anyway, with some normal like cramping and abdominal pain and back pain, but it's mild. It's tolerable. I can work with it. This was enough that like I considered calling into work. I felt so awful. So now I'm back to my normal, which is like first day spots, second, third day suck, fourth day spot, fifth day questionable whether or not it's really a fifth day, and we're done. And I'm good, and it's great. And I'm back to that normal pattern. And I also don't feel like flinging myself off the roof of a building. So you win. We
don't have any ladders.
There is that too.
I'm afraid of heights. Yeah. So going into June was our birthday month. So her birthday hits first. It's the 6th of June. And then our daughter's hits is the 12th. And then mine hits the 25th. And, we have to go out to dinner and do all the celebrations. And I know that there's a large, there's a number of portions of people in our community that would say you don't need to celebrate.
Or, you can have the party with everybody, but you don't need to have the other stuff.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
And I think there's merit to that. But I think for us, being able to plan things like that, it's not so much like a plan sheet or anything like that. I mean, we know we're probably going to go off plan, but I think having that plan and understanding that we're going to have that kind of thing throughout the year helps me, at least, with some of the binging issues, because if I know I'm never going to have this again, then I'm going to eat 4 pounds of it. Yeah. So
if it's never an option again, some people will just go overboard instantaneously
and get sick.
I know I've done that with certain things from time to time. I don't do that on the regular, but like my sister used to get bean and stick when we would go visit her in Wisconsin. We actually were thinking about it this year. And it's a lovely German cake with a cream filling. Oh, friggin' amazing. And you knew you were going to get it once a year. So what do? You buy one and you eat the whole damn thing in one sitting. There's no leftovers. Nobody gets seconds because everybody ate it all right away. So that I totally understand that. And I feel that too. But knowing like every year we are going to kind of slack off in June and really do what we want. I chose sushi for my birthday meal, and that comes with rice, and it is what it is. And I'm fine with that. And knowing that when we go on vacation, we do qualify, not always, and usually not as bad as we think we're doing, but we usually qualify once you're out of the state. It doesn't count.
Well, it's kind of like the thing is like say, you love, like, I'm not the biggest fast food fan. Okay. But whenever I'm out of the state and I'm in a state where they have Whataburger or In-N-Out Burger or something that we just can't get here, then it's almost like, you have to get it, or, that kind of thing. Or, everybody's favorite gas station, Buc-ee's. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, but we get normal stuff there, like keto stuff there, basically.
Yeah, we can, but I mean, sometimes we get those pecans, like those roasted, like candied pecans. We've had those before.
Yeah, but that's been
like 2 or 3 years.
2 to 3 years ago. But anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So we set these things out knowing that these are going to happen throughout our year, and it basically makes the rest of the year doable and easy. You know, it's not hard to deny yourself sweets and whatnot. Like literally every day I go to work, there is a new bag of candy or a box of donuts or cookies or whatever in the break room or on the nurse's station. And I have no problem saying no. Not even an inkling to taste it or try it or whatever. Sometimes I'll say, will you eat that and just tell me it's delicious? Because I just need to know that it is. Even if it's terrible, just tell me it's good. Because I just need to know that it is in my head. But like knowing that we have these breaks that are pretty much pre-planned makes it a lot easier to just be keto all the rest of the time.
I mean, it really does help us because then I know I can settle into my normal routine. I'm going to, my new routine has kind of been, and we'll kind of get to me with the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs and where I stand with that in a few minutes. But I just, with me, I settle into a routine. I kind of like a rut type thing. Like recently I've just been eating like Walmart frozen hamburger patties. I don't know why they're just hitting good right now. She won't eat them. She doesn't like them.
No.
So I've been making her steak or, chicken thighs. But I want to kind of take a time out real quick. And I want to congratulate Robin on her new grandbaby because that's super huge.
Woo, grandbabies are the best.
We love grandbabies. We love babies. We love the smell of milk neck.
I just love the cuddling with the baby and falling asleep together. Oh, that's the best. Those are the best naps you will ever get, ever. I know there's a lot of comments and fast and my brain doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. So kind of getting back to the idea of what we were talking about is something was Jennifer saying here is, start celebrating with non-food activities like shooting range, sightseeing, movie, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just, realistic. So we're a society that's built on food as a celebration tool, a commiseration tool. It's a coping tool. And yes, we want to get away from that because we understand that there are negative connotations if you're utilizing food
as a
reward or as a, like, oh, I had a bad day food. Oh, we had a good day food. Oh, we won the game food. Oh, let's, it's my birthday food. But we don't typically do that very often.
No.
I know, like.
No, and even like you have an owie, you need a sucker. We don't do that either.
No.
I usually I offer the grandchild a kiss, and she always says no.
Stickers. Stickers.
We do a lot of stickers, but like for us, it's more like our world. We're trying not to revolve around food, but knowing who we are as people and what our fallback is as people. Our big flaw is, I want to eat trash and I want to eat 20 pounds of it and I want to eat it now. Knowing that that's our big flaw, our fatal flaw, means that as long as we can see it in the distance, where we're at now is okay. It's like knowing that over the next hill, there's an oasis, knowing that it's there. You don't even have to see it, but you know it's there. So when the whole family gets together and the month of June is kind of a mess for us, that's okay. We can allow ourselves that. That's okay. Even though food as a reward is not a great way to look at it, knowing who we are, as long as we see that somewhere on the horizon, the rest of the year flows well.
And obviously we know that that's not going to work for everyone. That's one of the most important things that I can't stress enough is understanding yourself, being open and honest with yourself. A lot of us have a lot of difficulties with being honest with ourselves, understanding our shortcomings, our own weaknesses, and our strengths. Recognizing our strengths and being able to utilize those to combat our own shortcomings and weaknesses. So I understand that I have weaknesses when it comes to food. I came from a long line of, you eat everything on your plate. My mom struggled. We were low income, Section 8 housing. food stamps, I don't think welfare necessarily, but I think it all kind of clumps in together. I remember government cheese, going to Aldi before it was cool.
Yeah, now it's all.
It is very bougie now. Like going to Aldi isn't necessarily it doesn't have the negative connotation it once did. Because I remember going to Aldi and they were dirty. It maybe just been like, because we used to go to that one in Eagledale.
Well, everything in Eagledale was kind of dirty.
Yeah. So, coming up from poverty, my mom made sure we had enough to eat, but I think she went overboard. So she always made way more than we needed just because she was afraid that we weren't going to have enough. And she was over parenting, if you will, I guess.
And junk food's cheap. And your food stamps go a hell of a lot further if you're buying ramen.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. It does.
Fish sticks and canned corn.
Fish sticks, macaroni and cheese in a box. All of that stuff goes so much further, especially when you learn you can make mac and cheese with water instead of milk. Think of all the food stamps you save. We've all been there, done that. And my family, we didn't come from the same background, but I was one of 5 kids and my mom made a finite amount of food. And so you ate fast and you cleaned your plate, because if you didn't move fast enough, one of the other kids was taking food off your plate.
Because there was always somebody else there. It was not just you 5 kids. There was each kid had a friend or 2 over.
Right. There was always an abundance of people in my house, and my mom only made so much food. And my dad would spend tons of money on things like fruit. He'd go to the farmer's market and buy, pounds and pounds and pounds of fruit every week. And so with dinner, if you didn't get enough, that's fine, because then you would sit down and eat 3 grapefruit, or then you would sit down and you would eat, an entire watermelon because that's what was available. That's what we had. So, I think that knowing your weaknesses with food, I am part of the Clean Plate Club. It is very hard for me to throw out food. And to the point where if I don't finish all my steak at lunch at work, I put it back in the bag and I bring it home to eat it later, because I can't throw it away, So there's, knowing who you are and how you manage and how you cope and how you deal with things helps vastly. On the other token, like I said, I'm very good at turning down oodles of food. It doesn't matter what it is.
So here's an example. So Friday night, I took our middle kid, who's moved back in with us, out to the bar, staying out with some friends. So he didn't have to pay for an Uber. It's like 20 minutes down the road. So I went and dropped him off and then waited for a while. In the area that he wanted to go to, there had been some not so great things happen in the last couple of weeks. And they have started closing things down early. So instead of 3 a.m., basically they were getting everybody out between 1 and 1:30. So I went to pick him up. And when I picked him up, he walked through this parking lot and he had 3 boxes of cookies, like one giant box, like a whole dozen of artisan cookies. They weren't iced.
Were beautiful cookies.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what the brand was. I
don't remember the brand.
Something fancy and new and broadable.
Yeah. And another box, he opened it up and it was like this these brownie chunks with icing with more brownie chunks on it. And then another one was like these 2 chocolate brownie cookies. I opened them up. And I looked at them and I put them right back in the refrigerator, and I didn't eat any of the cookies.
I'm very proud of you, because I know you wanted to.
Oh, it was like 2 a.m. on a Friday night. Who wouldn't want to be standing there in the kitchen eating cookies?
And he showed them to me and he's like, look at that. And I was like, that is diabetes in a box. Put it away.
Well, I showed it to her right before she was walking out the door to go to work the next morning.
Yeah.
And luckily, he took them to work with him, because he gave them to all his coworkers. Some lady just given them to him or whatever. And I tried to talk to him about it. And I said, okay, here's the deal. I want to talk about this with all of you, because this happens to more of us than we realize, or even more than we acknowledge. So the fact that not everybody in our households is always, low carb keto or on some kind of plan, or, well-informed lifestyle, if you will. Like right now we've got leftover pasta in the refrigerator. We have ice cream in the freezer. That's not normal for our house.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, this is something, you have to be mindful of when you're coming into a home where people have these kind of addictions. It's like going into an alcoholic's home and being like, well, I've got this 5th of whiskey I'm just going to keep in the cabinet. Mm-hmm. Is that the best idea? And he was like, I don't know why you're subtweeting me, bro.
Yeah.
He takes it personal. And I mean, I wasn't necessarily putting him down for it, but I was just saying, this is an issue that a lot of people suffer with. And I know that there are, people in our community who watch and participate, and their spouses aren't keto, or their spouses don't necessarily even support what they do.
Yeah.
And how difficult that must be. I mean, I know how difficult it is, and she's with me every step of the way. Yeah. She's there to tell me, no, you don't need that. Or sometimes she's like, go over and buy it.
Oh, very rarely am I devil's advocate. Most of the time I'm like, no. Still no. Because he is the worst with cravings.
That's really
worse
bad
than any pregnant woman you've ever met. He will be like in the middle of whenever, doesn't matter, random date, random time, has nothing to do with anything. He'll come out and be like, I just want pizza. No, no, we're not having pizza. Or, man, caramel popcorn sounds really good. No, we're not getting caramel popcorn. He's like, I could just go get in the car and go pick. No, we're not doing that.
I think that's one of the benefits now of a post world where everything was 24 hours and now it's not. Now that everything's not 24 hours, like fast food restaurants close at 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah. Grocery stores close at 11 o'clock. And like 2 o'clock rolls around, you're sitting on your couch or whatever, if you're still awake, and you're like, oh, that sounds good. Well, you're out of luck. Unless you want to drive somewhere like at a big major highway intersection where they may have something that's 24 hours to, travelers and such.
But no, he is the worst with cravings. And without fail, he'll be like, he's got to go to the grocery store. He's got to go something else. It's like, what if I just stop and get this on the way home? No, we're not doing that. So that's my one strength. I'm very good at telling him no. That's probably my best strength.
Yeah, she loves telling me no.
It's my favorite thing to do. It really is.
She likes to crush my hopes and dreams.
Somebody has to keep you grounded.
You always keep me grounded. I'm always in trouble.
You need to go stand in the corner now?
It's over there. But the camera's not facing that way.
Okay, what are people saying?
Let's see what we got. Like, it looks like Jennifer's wanting to eat some bananas. She's wanting to eat Charlie's bananas.
What is Charlie's bananas?
Charlie, her granddaughter, has bananas at her house.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your bananas.
I do know your granddaughter's name is Charlie, but my brain is like, who's Charlie and why does he sell bananas?
It's a new brand of bananas. I
was like, what is that, like a new candy?
I got Dolce & Gabbana print.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I dislike bananas greatly. The only thing bananas are good for is banana bread. And obviously not keto.
Let's see what else we got here.
What else? What are other people saying?
Let's see.
Sourdough bread, air frying auntie. Yeah.
That's Shauna.
I'm down for breads of any flavor. Like, obviously not, but I love bread. I love
because she doesn't live far from San Francisco.
And that is a fight. One of the nurses at my work makes her own homemade breads. And like, she made a pizza bread a couple of weeks ago. And I think she's made like a cinnamon raisin bread. And I've had none of it, but it smells delicious. And the other nurses kind of fight to get it. So I'm kind of jealous.
So Jackie's talking about how Jim, we just had dinner with them Friday night.
Yeah.
But how, he didn't get keto food when we were out, which is fine. Right. He's an adult. But he doesn't. Growing boy. He's not staying keto, even though he made all the progress on BBBE. And
yeah,
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, I think
it is hard.
It's made
an entire lifestyle change.
Yeah, it really is.
And like explaining that to people you work with and your friends, they're just a lot of times they just look at you like you have 3 heads. I mean, and the nurses at work are so nice that they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I brought this in. Oh, I'm so sorry." Don't apologize.
It's not a huge deal to us.
I'll do me and we'll be fine.
So it's a difference like going out to eat or going into work. I always worked in offices and there was always something there was always some kind of treats or somebody had candy bowl on their desk or it's always like that. So overcoming that was not the challenge. Overcoming the challenge for me is it's in the fridge. It's in the freezer. It's sitting on the counter. That's the hard part for me. It's in the cabinet. I know it's there. It's like, hey. It's like a siren song. It's like, come down and eat me. I'm gonna taste delicious. I'm like, yes, yes. Because I'm insane.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I can turn down a lot of stuff, but I'm also super picky. So that's kind of, it's stuff I wouldn't have eaten anyway, a lot of the time, you know? So that's not that big of a deal for me, but there's a handful of things that are really hard for me to walk away from. The cookies that my son brought home, I'm glad they left the house because I would have been curious and I would have wanted to probably try some. Cookies are one of the things, and I don't mean like your run-of-the-mill buy them at the grocery store cookies. Yeah. No, I mean like artisanal cookies or homemade cookies that look gooey in the middle. Oh, those are hard for me to walk away. They are hard for me to walk away.
I've already been to the grocery store tonight, so we're not going to like make that trip.
We're not having cookies, but I could seriously make an entire batch of real cookie dough and sit and eat half the batch and cook the other half and eat the cookies. Like I've done it before.
Oh, that reminds me.
And I know me, I could do it again.
I've got a whole batch of this keto edible cookie dough in the pantry, or not pantry, the fridge that I made the other day. And it was a trial run. That's why I haven't really posted a whole lot about it, just because it was a trial run.
It's bad.
It's not okay. The flavor's okay.
The texture is.
Well, the texture's kind of like a weird oatmeal.
It's just wrong.
So because I used almond flour to thicken it up, which was a mistake. So I need to figure that out.
I don't know how to explain it. And you use what to flavor the cookie dough?
So basically what it is, it's like there's a trend going on right now where it's cottage cheese. So it's cottage cheese in the blender, vanilla, like a brown sugary style artificial sweetener, like the clumpy kind. I got some of that from the store the other day. And they use like a vanilla protein powder, which I didn't want to spend like $40 on a thing of vanilla protein powder because I'm never going to use it. It's not something that we utilize in our house. But I realized, I've got these packets of Keto Chow, which reminds me, I got a little package to open up from Keto Chow here in a minute. They sent me, I want an Instagram thing, but I just kind of figured we'd open that up to, together.
Right.
And I realized I've got some Keto Chow. So I utilized one of my, like chocolate toffee Keto Chows in there.
Yeah, that's also not the best flavor.
My flavors were kind of limited.
The flavor in and of itself, I can't comment on, but the flavor in this cookie dough mixture is not good.
I don't know if I have any actual vanilla. I have some vanilla cream Keto Chow that I haven't tried yet. I'm probably going to do maybe.
Do you have to add the protein powder, or could you just add like vanilla?
Otherwise, it was just a soup.
Oh.
Then it's just like.
What if you use xanthan gum to thicken it up?
Well, then it's going to be more like jelly, and I don't want that. It's cookie dough, So that's weird. So that's the dilemma. So
coconut flour would probably do better.
Anyway. It might.
Less gritty.
Yeah.
And more of a flavor that lends itself to a cookie dough.
I'll probably make another batch, and like I said, I'll work on the recipe and see if I can get it to come out in a manner that we like.
I wonder if you could bake what you already made.
I'll probably mix an egg in it or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
You'd probably want an egg.
You're an egg.
Eggs are miracles. Honestly, they hold everything together. They taste good on their own. You can boil them. You can fry them. You can do other gross things with them, but they're a miracle. Anyway.
I don't think I had a snickerdoodle one left. I tried a snickerdoodle one as a creamy. So yeah. Jennifer is agreeing with us that the home is the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we were talking about like family functions, so we don't have a lot of family nearby for functions.
Yeah, just the kids. And they come over for dinner, and we basically dictate what we make for dinner. Yeah. So that's not hard for us. Steak, burgers, or some kind of like taco stuff or whatever. And usually when they're over and it's not like a holiday or a birthday, it's just
we're playing games, we're hanging out.
And loud. We're making keto food and they're dealing.
Yeah.
And even like on Thanksgiving and stuff like that, for the most part, we make mostly keto stuff, and then they'll bring their junk and they'll eat their junk and we'll eat ours.
Yeah. We may have a spoonful of their mac and cheese or something. So majority of us, like for us to see family, it's a trip. So it usually counts as vacation. Like we go visit one sister in Colorado, every other year or so.
And one sister in Wisconsin.
But they're not so much a family. They're not so much a food. They're more, let's go outside and walk around. Let's go walk in the mountains. And I'm like, where's the oxygen? Oh, yeah. But
you did much better the last time we went.
No. This last time we went was the worst one of yet. The first one wasn't that great because I was over 400 pounds.
Yeah, the first time we went, I thought you were going to die.
Yeah, that was bad. I would just get winded walking from the house to the car.
He napped a lot.
Oh, man,
I'm pretty sure he had that altitude sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just looked like he was going to die.
And the second time we went back, it was fine. I didn't have any issues. We went to the top of Pikes Peak, and I'm walking around.
I don't like the top of Pikes Peak. It's terrible.
If I had the photo, you can probably find it in my Instagram if you want to dig in there. I don't know.
Maybe you could upload it after this.
I will put it on I'll make a YouTube a YouTube community post of that picture. You can see her. She's like, eyes are red. She's like crying all the way up because she's like, I'm gonna kill us all.
Okay. So here's the thing: getting to Pikes Peak, right? Yeah. If you've never been, it's an experience. Okay. And if you're going, I would suggest don't be in charge of driving the people you love. Okay. So I have a minivan we rented, filled with my whole family. All of my children, Dustin, everybody I love is in my car, right? And the top third of Pikes Peak, after you hit the last ranger station, there are no guardrails. There are no fences. The top is just the top.
It's like 150 switchbacks.
And it's a 2-lane road, one going up, one going down, and that's it. So if you fart, sneeze, turn your head, make a joke, you're going to just drive off the edge of a mountain. It's terrifying. And I'm trying to drive and be cool. Dustin's trying to pull. Oh, look, there's mountain goats out the window. Turn your head and look. I'm like, we're going to die. I cannot look. We get to the top of the mountain and stop, and the kids start getting out of the car. And I just had to sit in the car and cry for about 15 minutes and catch my breath because I was so terrified that I was going to kill us all accidentally on the top of this stupid mountain.
Now, I'm terrified of heights, but being in a car is not so bad, or being up in a building is not so bad, but I may not get close to the window. But yeah, so if you see, I'll put this picture up, and she's like, her eyes are all red and puffy, and it looks like, you know, someone she knows and loves just died and not could have.
I swear though, nothing is as nerve-wracking as holding the lives of your whole family in your hands. And I know it's probably silly, it's probably ridiculous. There are only so many people who actually drive off the edge of that mountain every year and die. But to me, it was imminent danger. And I had no way out because you can't stop, you can't turn around, you can't back up because both ways is traffic on that road. So you're stuck. Yeah. Oh my God. You're not wrong.
You're right, Hyla.
Freaking terrifying.
That's Hyla.
Hi, Hyla. Terrifying.
She doesn't know all of you people.
I don't. Dustin does all the social media things, and I show up to sit in front of a camera and eat things that are usually yucky.
And Shauna. She grew up in Washington in the mountains.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Washington mountains try to blow up.
Well, yeah, there is that too. But it was just scary. I don't know. I'm usually the driver with everybody in the car when we're all together. And none of that scares me because I am in control. But on the top of this mountain, you don't really have control. I mean, you have control of your vehicle, but you don't have control of the width of the road, whether or not you can dodge if somebody's driving like an idiot. None of that. There's a line of people behind you and a line of people in front of you and mountain goats to the side and a steep drop off. That's all you got.
So we didn't go up there this time. I wanted to go up the Cog Railway so bad. I guess I'll have to find someone to go with next time I go up the Cog Railway by myself.
I've done it once. It's off my list. I don't ever.
Well, I want to go up on the railway because I think that would be a lot of fun. And you can just stay. You can stay. I'll go up by myself. It's fine.
I don't want to do that. And you're not taking our grandbaby.
I'll meet someone new up there. I'll meet my very own Billy Goat.
That's fine.
But
they better take full charge of you.
They will. They'll charge at me. So I am terrified of heights because, you know, you can't beat up gravity. You know.
That's something you never win.
You never win against gravity. Gravity's always like, I got you. Come at me, bro. Anyway. But I do things that scare the living daylights out of me, even though because I want to experience it, terrified or not. So maybe I'm just a weirdo, but like going to the Hoover Dam and going as close to the edge as I can and going like,
oh, the Hoover Dam was awesome. It's just cool.
Yeah.
I can't say you don't have a sense of awe being there and that you don't get that little gurgle in the pit of your stomach, like when you're on a roller coaster type of thing, because you do. You're just like, holy, oh my Lord, this is huge. And if I try to be silly or funny or whatever, I could totally fall off the
just like holding my camera out to get a picture. I was like,
I thought for sure I was going to drop my camera and never see it again.
And then
only because I'm klutzy as all get.
And then we were in Vegas because of that. So we were in Vegas, so we went to the Hoover Dam, and then we went to we were on the Strip, and we went on the high roller.
Yep.
The high roller, the big Ferris wheel they have on the Strip.
That was awesome.
Off the promenade. Yeah.
Except for somebody the whole time was like, get away from the window. Get away from the door. Get away from the window.
Sit down.
Just sit down. Just sit down.
It holds 45 people, and we're there by ourselves.
It was awesome. I would totally, if it was a thing, I don't know if it's a thing, I would totally rent out one of those big things.
Well, everybody's got to pay, and you can all go on there, and then they bring a bar cart on there.
Yes.
You can drink as much as you can.
Yeah.
In the 35 minutes that
you can't pay for 2 rounds.
You could.
That would be awesome. I thought it was so cool.
I think it's like $75 or something like that. He
sat on the bench the whole time and literally was like, get away from the window. Get away from the door. Get away from it. Can you just sit down, please? And that doesn't scare me.
What did Jackie say here?
I don't know.
Somebody's like, yay. I don't know. I don't know what she said. Sorry, I'm real chatty. Still trying to get my depression brain back in the box. We understand, Jackie. That's where I've been for the last couple of weeks. Even with birthdays and all that stuff. I don't know every once in a while, it just punches me in the face. And I'm like, I can't work on stuff. I try to work on stuff and I just kind of sit there and zombie out and things like dishes will pile up. And then I've got to, then that it's like things begin to spiral. Right. So
once one thing is out of control, it makes everything else out of control and it's hard to reel everything back.
So it's like, then I've got to run the vacuum and mop the floor and all that. And we've got this new dog who sheds 11 cats. And it's like tumbleweeds rolling through the house. And I'm like, I really should be vacuuming every day, but I just don't have the time to vacuum every day. Literally, we could make blankets and clothes, and we could blanket the homeless with this dog's fur. And
well, I think the thing is that,
and the dog is a big part of it too. Yeah. And I don't want, and it's not like blaming the dog. It's not the dog's fault. The dog didn't ask to be here, but that's a whole other realm of responsibility. And the dog kind of gives me anxiety a little bit because she's so unruly and we've got her in training. We've had 3 training classes so far, but so far we're just working on walking and going around in circles and walking and making her obey that. And we've got 49 more sessions with this dog. And I'm not very well versed with dogs. Most of the time I've been around dogs. They've already been trained. They've already been house adjusted, if you will, not house broken. Usually do that when they're a puppy, but just whether, you
walk, behave around humans.
Yes. They just behave and you walk in and they're just laying in the corner. And they're like, oh, hey, you're here. Okay, well, I'm going back to sleep because you're nobody important. You don't look like you have snacks. So
this dog is very high strung, very hyper, very disobedient, doesn't want to listen, knows what you're saying, could care less. Like one of my children, in all honesty. I don't think she's bad. I don't believe there is such a thing as a bad dog. But she is exceptionally hyperactive and hard to train, hard to get to listen. Part of it's the breed. She's a husky mix. And part of it is that my son is the owner. So he needs to take the lead, but he just wants to play with her and he doesn't really care about, training. In all reality. And I love my kid, but he definitely thinks he knows better than everybody else. So the dog doesn't listen because he doesn't listen. And it's frustrating. And so it kind of topples on everything. And then we have the responsibility when he's at work, we have to take her out. We have to make sure she's getting socialized. So letting her out of her cage a little bit here and there, and letting her out of her cage is like having an additional toddler in the house, because you got to watch everything she does, because she'll jump up on the counters to try to get food, or she'll dig her nose in the trash, or, you know, she'll fight with the cats because, well, might as well. So you got to keep an eye on her constantly. And it's one more thing to add to it. And so it definitely makes you feel like no matter what you do, you're never going to come out on top.
So Joe says, is a dog just a light bulb? I mean, she's 2, I guess. And he got her from the pound. I guess she had been kind of on her own for a long time. So we don't know what like her previous owner status was. Yeah. So she's just not fully like domesticated. She's gotten better since she's been here, but she still doesn't care. Like Saturday, I let her out. So we have a lead that wraps around one of our trees, and it's like about 50 feet long. So she can kind of move around and go to the potty and all the stuff she needs to do.
Get some energy out.
Yeah. And she got underneath one of the trees and got out of her harness, and I had to chase her down, and I am not suited to chase this dog around. So I had my house shoes on. I mean, they're Uggs, you know, bougie, you know how I do. And, but trying to run around the neighborhood.
They were on clearance. I bought them for him for Christmas a couple years ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm worth clearance. Anyway, she's running from me. I walk around the tree because I was like, time to go in because I had somewhere to go. And I see that she doesn't have her lead on. And I'm like, oh.
And it was, he's like, as soon as he noticed it,
she noticed it.
And she's like, oh, I'm out.
Gone. And I'm like, I'm not trying to run after her because I don't want her, like, but she's like, I'm living my best life. And I'm like getting blisters on my feet. And yeah, they finally feel better today, but my feet had serious blisters. And I'm like all around our neighborhood. So in the back of the neighborhood, there's like that little pond. I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
Because I don't go behind people's houses,
right?
You know?
Because that's weird.
She ran at that pond. I thought she was going in. I thought she was going to go for a swim. And I'm like, well, she's just going to live there. Because I'm not going to the pond after her. I'm not, and she's not coming in our house wet. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to find somewhere to live. But she was like right down, and then right at the end, just, I was like, oh no. And then she's like going up to these fences and barking at other dogs, and she's not listening to me. So finally, I had to just say, okay. I went back home, got her lead, got a bag of hot dogs, got the car, and I was calling Jackson. Called him 4 times.
Yeah. Well, he's at work.
I know, but you figure someone calls you 4 times in a row. It's something. Yeah. And he's like, I'm at work, bud. And I'm like, I don't know where your dog is. She's gone. But by the time he gets to me, she's come up to the car, and I've given her hot dogs, got the lead on her. But he takes her home. I go back home and try to compose myself. Because I had a show to go to visit some friends at a friend's band that was coming in from out of town, and they were playing with another friend's band. And, you know, I don't see people in person very often, and I kind of need that, even though it's super duper awkward for me anymore. Just really is. And I don't understand. It bothers me. So I've kind of like got to re-people myself, you know. I don't go anywhere anymore. And like going out, like the small talk anymore is just small talk. It just seems like you're trying to be, you know, it's like, you know, but it's like, it's a depreciating asset or some kind of skill that kind of goes away.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it atrophies. That's the word I'm looking for.
I think we need to get you re-socialized just like the dog. Let you out occasionally.
Let me smell people's butts, I guess.
Yeah. But the dog is just a major stress factor. And like, I'm a bleeding heart for dogs. I know that I am. I've tried really hard to not have a dog since our last one passed away, just because it hurt me so badly. So we had cats instead, and a dog is a lot of work. And I know that, and I know about myself that I don't want all that extra work. So I've avoided getting a dog, and this dog is all the work and more. And I feel horrible when we have to put her in her cage because I need to go upstairs and work on eBay, and you need to go work on YouTube stuff. And we're like, well, we're here. I should be able to let her out. She should be able to come up and just chill, but she can't. She doesn't have any chill. She is no chill. If she's out of the cage, she's eating something, she's into something, she's trying to eat one of my cats. Like she's running through the house. She literally, this couch behind us, I don't know if you can see it.
It's dark.
She will launch herself off the couch. And I'm worried she's going to break a bone
or hip, or because our floor, she gets zero traction on our floor.
Right. We essentially have the wood laminate floors, and she hits it and
slides.
And she'll do it over and over and over again. So we can't leave her out. She has to be in the cage. And I personally have never had a crate trained dog. All of my dogs have been free to roam the house, and she's just, I feel guilty. I feel terrible about having to do it, but I have to do it. We have to put her up when we eat because she literally stole a steak right off of my plate. I thought I was going to box a dog for a steak. I literally washed it off and threw it in the microwave and ate it anyway. But like, you feel bad. You feel guilty. And it just
treat theirs like kids. I mean, yeah, I mean, Jackson does that to a degree with this dog. He's like, come on, pup, come on, pup, come on, pup. And she doesn't respect that. She's like,
no, and he's like, look at this cute thing I taught her. And I'm like, that's great. Can you teach her to walk on a leash? Can you teach her to come to her name? How about teach her to just sit and stay? She has none of those skills. Zero of those skills. Very frustrating. I would suggest not getting a dog unless you're fully prepared, and don't ever get a dog because it's pretty, because she is absolutely beautiful and an absolute jerk.
Yeah. And unfortunately, right now, as it stands, is we don't have a lot of options because we can't trust her to just be out in the house. And I have to go up to my office, and her eBay stuff's upstairs. And
she comes tearing through my office and like knocking over glassware, trying to chase the cats, and the cats go into my office to try to hide from her. So she's trying to find cats and like knocking over shelving and stuff. And I don't know what to do with her. Like, I can't just be like, sure, that's fine. And she damages, inventory.
And we utilize crate training not so much as a punishment, but I mean, we put treats in there, and we try to leave the door open when she isn't. So we have like the food bowls that are kind of bolted into the side. So, that's kind of her space. She's got blankets.
And we got her a bigger crate so she has room to move around in it. But I feel bad.
She should have, she needs to have wide open spaces to run. And while we do live up with a huge common area behind us,
you can't just let her go.
No, you can't.
And especially because she's bitten several of us. She's bitten my son 3 times. She bit me once. And she's food and toy aggressive. And she communicates with biting. So
Shauna, I love you.
That is an awesome theory. I love that. I would go with that.
A little late.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've already broken every one of those rules, and my plants are almost dead too.
Well, yeah, the plants are about dead. Yeah.
But she has a way of communicating with biting, and I'm assuming that's probably for having no training in all this time. If you pet her and she decides she's done being petted, she will bite you. You don't have to be aggressive with her. You don't have to be mean with her. She'll be fine. You're petting her. She's great. And I'm done. And you've been bitten. It's like a cat who lets you rub their tummy and then goes crazy and attacks you. She has the same type of personality. So like when she's out and about and through the house and we're downstairs and the grandbaby's over, she has to wear a muzzle because I can't trust that she's not going to just bite somebody, because that's how she communicates. And we're trying to get her to understand that we're her people and we're not here to hurt her and we don't want to fight her, but she's just not getting it. So anybody who has any suggestions, I don't know. The trainer said not to hold her down and bite her ear, which I guess is a common practice to try to teach the dog that you're the leader. I don't feel great doing that either. And I don't want her to feel like she has to fight for dominance. So we're a little worn down and tired and frustrated.
So a couple weeks ago, I entered into, as you do on Instagram, Keto Show had a contest. You enter those. You don't expect to win, whatever. But I got a message that I won, and they sent me some new stuff. Let's open up and see. We got a package here.
We're changing topics.
Yeah.
We were getting down and depressed on dogs.
Yeah. So let's see what we got.
Oh, this is cool. I like it when people send stuff.
So we got all these.
That's a fistful.
Yeah. So we've got congratulations from here. It says, congratulations, you lucky duck. You know, people say you never win anything. You are no longer one of them. Enjoy your free gift. Keto Chow. We are Keto Chow affiliates, but this is not a part of that. But I guess in the description below, we will put some of that stuff if you're curious to trying it. If you haven't, I imagine most of you already have tried it. But yeah, so they sent us 6 packages, 6 of their things. So we've got one of the coveted flavors, right?
Blubbery.
We got blueberry pie. I've only tried this as a creamy. We haven't tried it as a
as the drink.
As the drink, right? So yeah, I'm kind of excited to try that. I'm probably gonna make it with butter. I like to make them with a full stick of butter. Ooh, so good. We got. Let's see. They sent us 2 blueberry pies. Yeah. All right, 2 blueberry pies.
2 blueberries.
We got 2 strawberry creams. So I'm excited because I only bought one of each of these when they went live. Because even though I'm an affiliate and all that fun stuff, it
still costs money.
Well, after the fact, like they send those out for the YouTubers to do reviews and all that stuff. And I was not a part of that, but perhaps next time. But I got 2 of the strawberry creams. I was not a fan of either the natural strawberry or the regular strawberry. To me, the regular strawberry tasted like. It didn't taste like strawberry. It tasted more artificial to the point it tasted more like a Twizzlers pull and peel. So if you guys are familiar with that, Shauna likes the strawberry vanilla creams. I'm excited to try them. She said we need to make the blueberry fudge. I need to look up your recipe. I think that's your recipe, and we'll take a look at that. Jackie, what's a dog daddy? I don't know. That just seems a little sus to me. I don't know what that is.
Dog daddy.
Oh, we're already paying, so we paid like a lot of money for a dog trainer.
Yeah, so to go see the dog trainer was $1,400
for 52
training sessions.
Yeah,
and
he normally trains.
Police
dogs. Yeah,
and I'm hoping it helps. I feel like she's gotten a little better. You know, she still doesn't listen much. She does walk on the leather lead little better.
When we do put her on the leather lead, so if I have her in the house on the leather lead, it makes me feel bad. And I don't know if that's something we should be doing, but she will lay at my feet on the couch. She'll lay down, she'll sit,
and she'll listen.
She'll chill. Like when she's got the lead on her, it's like the lead is her listening ears. You take that lead off and she's like, I ain't listening to nothing.
Yeah. She is literally like a toddler.
Oh yeah.
She just isn't going to listen to you. And I've gotten in arguments with our son about, oh, well, you can't leave butter on the countertop. No, I'm going to leave butter on the countertop. Yes, he is going. Yes, I'm going to leave butter on the countertop because, damn it, it's my countertop. And if I want the butter out, it's going to be out. And you need to watch and be in control of your dog. So if she keeps jumping up on the counter and eating a stick of butter at a time, you're going to owe me some money because butter ain't cheap.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. What's a Jackson Galaxy for cats? Cats just do their own thing, even though ours yowl and stuff all the time. Like, I don't know, they're like lost in their own house or something. I don't know what's going on.
Cats are on their own level. They do their own thing. But she's just so much like a toddler. And when we already have a toddler running around from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, and then we have the dog on top of it that just acts like another toddler, it's a lot. And we're just kind of worn down at the end of, like I'm kind of looking forward to going to work this week.
Well, I mean, like that's another thing. Like, okay, I get up, I have my stuff I need to do. I have even on Saturdays and Sundays, she goes to work. We don't have the granddaughter. Those are kind of my days and to get stuff done. That I can get whatever dishes need to be done. I can run the vacuum, and then I can go sit in my office and just zone out and do what I got to do and get stuff done. But in this instance, I don't really have that ability because then I've got to go walk the dog every hour or two. And then I'm like, I feel like it's an obligation and burden. I know family is important. We do what we have to. Obviously, we do.
Bye, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. I really appreciate you stopping in. That's really awesome.
I can almost read that.
Yeah, Bob, we need to get together. If you're still here, we need to get together and go to Yummy Bowl, do a video.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah,
I want to go to Yummy Bowl.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the dog is just a lot. He did say he would be moving out by the end of the year, so fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. We didn't sign up for longer than that.
Oh.
That I always have my house open for the kids. I'll never turn them away. That's just not a part of who I am. I will never turn my children away.
Right.
But they need to have a game plan. They need to have an idea of where they're going.
Because I don't think you ever were prepared for empty nesting, and then when it happened, you were like,
"Oh, that was the worst." Initially, so our daughter moved in with us before the youngest one moved out, and she was pregnant with the granddaughter, and then the granddaughter was a year when they decided they were moving out.
Well, they lived with us all through the
pregnancy, through the pandemic, and then they moved out. Like I get.
Well, they were here during the pandemic. Well, no, because they moved out. Because they moved out and then had no. Well, they moved out in like late 2020. Yeah.
Hendrix and it was part of the pandemic.
Yeah. And then they got their own apartment right in the worst time.
Yeah.
To get an apartment.
So I'm at work and I get a phone call saying we just signed a lease on an apartment. And they didn't, unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know they were going to be moving out. And I totally lost it because I was not ready for them to leave. And I had my granddaughter with me every day that I wasn't at work, and just such a huge part of my world. And having my daughter around when she wasn't at work, like just, I was not good at letting them leave. But then they left and I got better accustomed to it. And then we started watching the young one again. And we always had her. She was always around, but we started like officially watching her Monday through Friday.
That was 2021.
Yeah. So like,
late 2020, early 2021.
I was still getting my fix. And our youngest stayed with us for most of that.
Yeah, then he turned 18 and moved out.
He turned 18 and moved in with his sister. And so we had like this little bit of
about 6 months to a year of
no kids in the house, and the grandbaby not on an everyday basis. So there was like this freedom. It was weird. I don't think I was actually comfortable with it. And then when we started watching her full time again, that made me feel better. But like, I'll never turn the kids away. I just can't do it. It's not a part of me. It's not in me. My end goal in life is to pay off this house and give it to the kids so that they always have somewhere to be.
You're not going to give it to them. You're going to leave it in a trust.
It'll be in a trust.
So they don't have to pay the taxes on the house.
Right. But so that they always have somewhere to be. They always have a place to be home. And, none of the rule that I've told them is that you can't ever turn your sibling away. This is home. This is their house. And that's what it's going to be. If they destroy it, they can make it or break it, but it's theirs. We're going to keep it as comfortable as we can do while we're here. But when I turn over the keys to them eventually someday, then it's theirs to either, feast or famine, make it look good, screw it all over, whatever. But I'll never turn the kids away. And even if they come back with a dog.
80 days till Keto Palooza. I am so excited for this. She's not going.
No, I gotta work.
She only gets 4 days a year off because she works Saturday and Sunday every week. So she only gets 4 days. So she only gets 4 Saturdays and Sundays off or whatever, right?
Right.
So we've got 2 of those when we're going to Disney. We're going for about 2 weeks, little shy of 2 weeks to Disney. Kissimmee and then Disney and whatever else we want to do in Orlando and all that stuff.
Right.
Cocoa Beach. Anyway,
we'll see.
I'm going to see the ocean. Anyway, so we're going to be, I want to share Keto Palooza as much as possible. I imagine just about everybody in this chat right now are going. I mean, I may be just a little wrong in there. I think Shauna said she was going. We know Jen's going. Jason said he's coming. I'm not sure who else is all coming. But I want to make sure that we get as many people out. I want to make sure because Autumn said just the other day on Sunday that there's like just a little shy of 100 tickets left out of 300. So we're over halfway there. So obviously we're two-thirds of the way there to selling it out. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure it sells out. That way we can continue to enjoy this, because I don't know if anybody would be able to compete with what Autumn's doing if she stops doing Keto Palooza. I mean, especially for someone like me, it's only 2 hours away. It's not like going to Austin, Texas, or Orlando, or all these places that are extremely far away that I would like to visit for these events. I know there's one coming up in Las Vegas. I did enter to win a contest to maybe win 2 tickets to that, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford to go if I win.
There's 2 people saying they're not going. Essentially, they don't know about.
Oh, Hyla said Hyla's not going to be able to go probably.
Yeah.
And Jess doesn't know anything about Keto Palooza. So what Keto Palooza is it's like a keto convention. There's vendors, there's speakers, like Dr. Ken Berry's going to be there. 2 crazy ketos are going to be speaking. But more importantly, it's like a family reunion of us people that are involved in a lot of these chats and these channels. And it's laid back. It's more family. There's a dinner, and it's just
a way to get to know some of the other people in the keto community and make some bonds and get some friends. And so you're not just sort of alone in your own space in the middle of nowhere doing keto, without other people to rely on.
And it's in Louisville, Kentucky. It is the 6th through the 8th of October. I believe tickets are like, I can't remember how much they are. I know that there are some links out there where you can get $20 off your ticket. I will see. I want to say that Ready Set Keto has that. I think it may be code RSK. They don't get any kickback, but you get $20 off. And
there's probably going to be a lot of it posted online afterwards, so you can kind of get a feel of what it's about.
I'm gonna do my best to record a lot of footage while I'm there, and hopefully be able to cut it together in some kind of cohesive, video to kind of to showcase what it is.
Hot mess.
Oh, me! Look at me! Ooh, baby. Anyway, so she says she's in Louisiana. Yeah. Well, Jackie, I don't know if you know, but they're now annual pass holders. So, so she's saying that they like going to Universal now. They're annual pass holders now because they get that Florida discount. So they'll be going a lot more, I think. I mean, Universal Studios, there's some cool stuff that I'd like to see, but nothing to me can compare to the magic that is Disney.
Oh, okay. Story time. So we went to Disney and the kids were, what year did we go?
We went in 2015.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going to have to remind me how old my children were in 2015. Anywho.
Hunter was 11.
Okay. That's right. Because he had his birthday in Disney. So we went in 2015, and if Hunter was 11, that means Jackson was 13 or 14, and Cheyenne was 15 or 16, somewhere in that range. Or 14 or 15. Anyway, whatever. So we had 3 teenagers, and we go to Disney World, and Dustin has never been before. So we're there, and the first night they do fireworks, and we're having a great time. Everybody's getting along. It's the happiest place on earth. And the fireworks start, and Dustin was going to record it. And all of a sudden we kind of all stop and look at him because he's like, and like just bawling hysterically watching the fireworks. And he's like, I just never thought I would ever see this. I never thought I would ever come here. And it was just the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. And even after we came back for like the next year, anytime there was a commercial on TV for Disney with the fireworks, he would tear up. It was amazing. He's just, if you didn't realize what a giant teddy bear he is a giant teddy bear. Would you get rid of all the things?
I'm trying to make Shauna a moderator on this.
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do it.
Okay. Well, he took away the screen that showed who, like us, and people's comments, which I can barely read from where I am anyway. So if you can't see us or something happens, blame him. I think things are still working. I'm
They
not
are.
positive.
Pretty sure.
But anyway, he's just such a, such a sweetheart, such a softie.
Yeah, we're still going live.
Okay, we're still there. We're still here. What am I supposed to look at?
Well, that's the comments in case you need to see them.
Well, that's not helpful. This is very small.
I'll have to look at this because I can't remember how to make people moderators and all that stuff right now. I'll figure it out, but yeah. Yeah, I was looking through YouTube. That's why we couldn't see StreamYard.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah.
Disney is our happy place.
Disney is the best place on earth. And every time we've gone and we've left, I've looked for jobs there because I want to be there.
You know they have to have some nurse needs there and stuff.
I'm sure they do.
They have paramedics and all that stuff, the Reedy Creek stuff and all that.
Yeah, I know. It's just because I don't want to just work in a hospital near Disney. I would rather like work for Disney. I'm sure they need nurses, right?
Probably.
Anywho. Oh, I'm sorry for yawning. This guy has kept me up 2 nights in a row at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then he expects me to be on my game for the rest of the day.
You know what?
What?
Nobody made you stay awake. You were working in your office.
Yeah, the last night, but the night before you were like, hey, let's watch this new show. And I was like, I'm really tired. I just got off work. And you were like, but let's watch this new show. So we watched.
Air fry, Shauna, I know for sure the Ready Set Keto has the discounts. That's who I used when I bought my ticket. And like I said, nobody gets any kickback or anything like that. It's just a matter of getting like $20 off your ticket, which can go a long way. Yeah. Well, we've been doing this for a little over an hour. Is there anything that anybody wants to talk about? Any questions you have for us?
Yeah, I think we've rambled on for like forever.
An hour and 8 minutes.
Feels like a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll look and see if anybody has any questions. Anything they want to know about you or me. I mean, she is real. She's not an AI program.
You don't have to poke me.
Yeah. I am hoping, I'm hoping to see a lot of new faces and meet a lot of new people that I don't know at KPL. And obviously hugs, lots and lots and lots of hugs. So I hope people will put on their name tags hugs or no hugs, like hugs yes, hugs no.
Yeah, I think he's looking forward to getting to know people and give hugs and that kind of stuff.
I am leaving early Friday morning to head down there because we're only 2 hours away. And well, I'm probably going to head down early because I think people are going to be there Thursday. And if I can head down there early, I won't be able to check into the hotel until later in the day. I don't think, maybe like 3 o'clock. But if people are already down there, I can at least meet up with people and hang out and maybe go to lunch or something like that before everything kicks off. Because I know Jason's he's coming down from Canada.
Ooh, Canada.
He's coming down through here, so he may stop in and sometime before or after, either on the way down or on the way up, and maybe go to Rockstar Pizza.
Oh,
it's the very best pizza for you and me.
Just a suggestion, though. Just get the breadsticks as your pizza.
Oh, it's so good.
The pizza is very good, but the breadstick crust is way
Yeah, the owner's wife doesn't want me telling people that, though.
Yeah, I don't think
we didn't say anything.
Money. You didn't hear that from us. Anyway, what else you got?
Jackie's.
Yes. Oh,
Jackie.
Potty mouth.
We can't have nice things. Jennifer's channel is Chandra-Law over on the Tube of Views.
Chandra's channel.
That's what I just said.
No, you said Jennifer's channel because Jennifer asked the question.
Freudian slip, okay?
It's Chandra-Law, Lah, on YouTube. And I talk about reselling stuff on eBay. if you have any interest. And he's got a bunch of videos of mine that he needs to edit.
I was editing them until like 3 a.m. last night. So yeah. There should be a new short out today over on her channel. So take a look at that. That kind of gives some an insight to her brain. And then the full length video that came from will be coming out sometime this week.
Yeah.
As soon as I can get it up and running.
Yes.
I don't think you would want it, Cindy.
What is it?
We are in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yes.
We're like West Side, Indianapolis, Indiana, deep West.
West Side.
That's right.
Yeah.
West Side's the best side.
I can't find my way around anywhere else in the city, so the West Side's the one we're in.
Yeah. Let's see. We need
Bye, Jess.
We need a kissing booth. Talk about Freudian slip. Yeah.
Well, you can understand what he's thinking. It's very furry.
She doesn't even like shit. That's when the woman you love goes. Ugh.
It's sometimes damp, and there's sometimes food. Yeah, you never know what you're getting. You got to check it out before you go in for the kiss. Just saying.
And Cindy's like, I'm waiting for you to bring me a pizza from over there. That so far. You don't want a 3.5-hour-old pizza.
I mean, I have waited a long time for delivery in my life.
Really?
Well, maybe not 3.5 hours, but yeah.
Man, I do need to come visit your Buc-ee's. We were over at a friend's house last night. They were talking about how they stopped at that Buc-ee's on their way back from, I forget where they were coming from.
I thought it was from
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah, they were coming from Gatlinburg because the Sevierville one wasn't open yet. The Sevierville one, I guess, is like the largest one to date.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to see that one.
I want to go back to the Smoky Mountains where it's during the daytime.
I don't want to do the Smoky Mountains during the daytime, but I don't want to drive in the mountains in the dark. I didn't
mind that because you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
You slept and we're fine.
I sleep. Tell them how I sleep.
Okay, so one of the things that drives me insane about driving long distances with her is when she gets tired and starts to doze off every 10, 15 minutes. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you good to drive? I'm like, we're going to be good. I'm going to push you out of the car. I'm going to put you in the trunk.
I just want to make sure he's not falling asleep.
I'm like over there having a good time listening to a book or like a podcast, like 4 hours in, having a good time. Because, yeah, I mean, I love to drive.
To doze off, and I go, are you okay? Are you safe to drive? Do we need to pull over?
Everybody needs a channel. I don't understand why everybody, Jen needs a channel. Shauna needs to get up on that channel and release a whole bunch more content, you know?
Need a beard vacuum.
You know what?
I'm down for that.
They did that. There was called a flow bee. I don't trust you.
Oh, well, I wouldn't cut it. I would cut the stash, not off, but trim it.
Well, it
hangs over.
The good thing about those pieces, you can get them frozen, like raw, frozen, and bake them when you get home. So yeah, I mean that might be a good thing. I just don't know when we're going to be coming back out that way. Like when we're going to be, because like even when we're going to Florida, we're not going that far out.
Yeah,
we're going straight down. Even if we were to go out like 74 to 75 down to like whatever it is, 94 or whatever, we would be. Yeah.
I just sit in the car.
I like driving. It's like if I don't have at least a really good long road trip, at least once a year, I feel like I'm not living my life good.
Although the drive to Colorado might have been too much.
Well, yeah, we did drive to Colorado once. It was like 21 hours.
And it wasn't that bad except for Kansas.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Kansas is soul sucking.
We got into Kansas, and then when we crossed over into the Colorado border, we pulled off into a gas station. They had an Arby's, and we walk into the Arby's to get something to eat. And what's on the radio? Kansas. Like you can't escape it.
That was awesome. But it was just so long and empty, and there was just nothing for miles on it.
Dead exits. Like there was nothing there.
You wonder if you've driven into like an alternate universe. It was very, I don't know, like eerily quiet. There weren't even that many cars on the road. And there's just like, there's nothingness in every direction you look. Scary. I don't like Kansas.
Yeah, Hyla went through Kansas once.
Yeah. I think if we ever do it again, we'll go around Kansas and.
Well, that's what we did. Well, that's what we did on the way home. Was we went up through Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then over into Nebraska and drove the entire length of Nebraska.
And it was beautiful. There was scenery. There were things to see.
We chased a train.
We did chase a train. But I can't. Kansas is just so void. It's like, oh, it's so awful. I feel bad for people who live there, especially if they don't know any different.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet Jason at KPL or here before we head down to KPL. That would be really awesome. As I don't know if I'm driving myself there down or if I'm riding with Jackie or not. We'll see. Because I don't know when Jackie's planning to go. Because if they want to go early, like if they're planning to go early on Friday, I think Jim's going too.
Yeah.
Just hop in with them and drive. I don't have to drive. But even though I do, the only reason I do like to drive, I think the only reason that would be saving me from the drive would be knowing that I'm going to be driving to and from Florida later that month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then driving to and from Chicago as well that month as well. So
yeah.
Going to see Botch. Excited to see Botch.
I don't know what that is.
I know. No one in this chat knows who Botch is.
Oh,
just
maybe.
me. Kansas's portal to Oz.
It doesn't need to be fancy. Yeah. Agreed.
Well, I guess we will go ahead and end this. It has been well over an hour and 15 minutes of us just rambling on and keeping you from your nightly things, your lives. So if you like us going live on Tuesdays at this time, I don't know how. I know we're competing with somebody. I just don't know who yet. I know.
And to be fair, it's not like it could be any other time for us.
It is, yeah, because I have a live at 9:30 tonight that I do every Tuesday night. Tonight we're talking about The Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Mondays are packed full of people. Fridays there's people going live. Thursdays like on the busiest nights. Wednesday is difficult. I mean, Tuesday is good.
Are tricky too.
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight, Tuesday nights is the night. This is what we're gonna do. Sorry if we're stepping on other people's toes, but we'll be here rambling on about rando things.
Well, I guess I could just sleep on your floor and just until the next morning if you go down Thursday night. But yeah, we'll figure it all out and it'll be a good time. Definitely won't be strangers. I mean, we are strange.
Yeah, I don't think you could get stranger.
It's true. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to jump out of here. It was awesome hanging out with you all. We'll see you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
And see,
next
that's why this
Tuesday.
Is perfect. That's why.
If you know, you know.
Bye, everybody.
We're out of here.